We are back. It looks like reusables.com has just been awarded a patent on their Tap to Reuse technology. We're going to get off all into it today. For those of you who don't know, I am Dave, a 10 plus year intellectual property attorney dealing with everything from copyrights, trademarks, trade secrets, as well as patents. And we're going to play a video so you guys can get more of an understanding of what is going on. But I guess essentially what is going on is this is a tap to reuse technology. So, for example, if you are in a cafeteria at your high school or at your college, and as opposed to having them kind of paper plates that you kind of use and throw away, reusables.com has got these containers that tap, essentially rent out a container, eat your food, drink your beverage, whatever the case may be. And then once you're done, you can return a container and all is well. And to the extent that you don't return the container, because I know some of y'all out there trying to get some free dishware, you're going to be charged. So that's essentially in a nutshell what it is that reusables.com. Let me pull up this IG video just so they can go through it. And then we're going to go quickly through an article that kind of tells a little bit more about the differences between what they have got a patent on compared to kind of what's out there. And we'll kind of get your guys' take on things as well. So please hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm as I am pulling up this. Also, hit that subscribe button to be a part of the IP community. Got a lot of different things going on today, man. I'll be kind of coming to you guys live here later down the line and kind of talk about some IP in the news. We got some cool lawsuits that we're breaking down. Let me put on these headphones and get an idea of what it is that reusables.com has created. Let's go.
Hey, wait, have you seen these at North Districts?
Yeah, that's a smart bin, and it's actually so cool. When you grab a street eats order, they give it to you in this sleek reusable container. Just scan the QR code and boom, the bin takes it back. My friends and I may have turned it into a game. Just scavenger hunting for these bins all over North District. You can even hang on to your container for 5 days. And listen, as a student who's running around campus 24/7, you know I'm taking full advantage of that. Highly recommend trying it out. The more we use these bins, the more they'll get around campus.
Okay, wait.
So that's essentially in a nutshell what it is that reusables.com has gotten a patent on. So it's essentially a system, pull myself back up, a system that you get your food in this kind of reusable container, you eat your food, and when you're done, you essentially turn it back in this kind of bin and all is well. Like I said before, if you don't turn it in, then you will be charged a small fee. I'm not sure what that fee is, but if you don't turn it in, then you essentially will be charged. And it seems like the more people use these things, the more bins they can pop up across campus, which I think helps out kind of the user, because as opposed to having to kind of walk out, went to Michigan State, as you can tell in the background, as opposed to having to walk to a location that may be a little further away to deposit or return the thing in a bin, being able to go to a bin that's a little bit more near you, I think is going to be a kind of a game changer. So you guys have to let me know, would you guys use it? Or to the extent that if you were forced to use it, would you be happy about it? Would you not be happy about it? While you guys are answering that question, I do want to pull up the quick article to kind of go through and share you guys what's the difference. Okay, it seems like we put an RFID tag or a barcode on some type of a reusable container, and okay, what's the difference? That doesn't appear to be new. However, this is why you need a good patent attorney, and this is why just having these subtle differences can make or break not only the patent but the business. So let's kind of see what it is that makes theirs different from what's currently out there. Seems like they got a patent on this thing. So I'm an intellectual property attorney because I'll be looking at stuff like this, reusables.com. I would imagine that they paid at least 5 figures for that domain name, reusables.com. Yeah, they definitely pay some money for that. But nonetheless, reusables.com awarded a patent for tap to reuse technology, deposit-free container tracking system. So essentially it tracks the container. Let's see here. This came out October 28th, so a couple of days ago. Reusables.com, the category defining startup. So this is a startup. And again, as you are a startup, having that intellectual property protected can be big, whether it's patents, whether it's trademarks, so forth and so on, trade secrets. So let's see here. The category defining startup for tech-enabled reusable packaging announced today that it has received a U.S. patent. This is actually the application number. This is not the patent number. This is the application number. A patent, we are on like 12 million, I think. So this is the application number. This is not the actual patent number. So they did get this wrong, but whatever. For a revolutionary system that enables food service operations to offer reusable containers without upfront deposits or costly infrastructure overhauls. The patented technology addresses the two primary barriers that have prevented mainstream retail adoption of reusable packaging: operational complexity and consumer friction. So it seems like the two biggest issues is the operational complexity of trying to manage the asset, which is the container, and handle payments and all that, as well as consumer friction, or in other words, getting the consumers to adopt this this kind of reusable system. The PAN system represents the first technology to seamlessly integrate reusable asset tracking with existing point of sale and payment processing systems without requiring deposits or store sensitive payment information. Instead of charging consumers up front or saving sensitive card data separately, the system only applies a refundable charge if items aren't returned within the specified time frame. Consumers can even return items 30 days after the due date and receive a full refund, added to company's industry-leading return rate of 99%. So it seems like this is essentially what's going on. Hey, they're going to, you tap to say, hey, we're going to use this container. And essentially, when you're done using the container, it seems like it's best practice to return it there. But to the extent that you return it a week, heck, I think they said even 30 days, if you return it, then you don't get charged. However, if you don't return it within a predetermined time period, that's when you get charged. And hey, look, I can tell you what, especially coming from a black guy, black people don't like being charged after the fact or seeing charges kind of show up on their account that seems to be out of the blue. So they're definitely going to return it. They may have some words for you, but they're definitely going to return it. This is essentially the crux of it. So they're saying, hey, we're not, apparently when you're trying to keep track of this payment information and all that on the front end, it requires some additional hoops for you to jump through. But they're saying, no, we're not charging you guys up front for a deposit. We are only charging you guys to the extent that you guys don't return the actual containers. And that subtle difference, it don't maybe seem not much, but it seems to allow for it to have applicability, to kind of reduce the friction and the operational complexity, and to get kind of more cafeterias and restaurants and kind of places, businesses to adopt the technology. So let me know what you guys think. We're trying to read a little bit more of this, then we're going to wrap it up. But I did want to at least show you guys how this is different from what's out there. But let's go here. This PAN protection validates what we've known from day one, that the path to mainstream reusable adoption isn't through completely rebuilding the retail infrastructure, but by working within the similar retailers by working within the systems retailers already have. This is the CEO of reusables.com talking. We've essentially solved the integration problem that has kept reusable packaging confined to niche applications, and now we have the IP protection to scale this approach across an entire retail ecosystem. Our approach is simple: make reuse more cost-effective and convenient than waste. So again, they're trying to go away from the paper plates that you're throwing away, that you're waste. I would imagine that restaurants and businesses, cafeterias, universities are spending a ton of money with these paper plates over the course of years. And this reusable technology allows people, or these businesses, to have containers that essentially can be reused. Wall Street Journal recently featured reusables.com as the most advanced tech system in North America. So forth and so on. The PAN's unique architecture separates asset management from payment processing. So essentially, asset management essentially meaning managing the actual containers from the payment processors. Those are split up. And again, it doesn't seem like much being able to separate, tracking of the containers from the payment part of it. But that is not only unique, but it seems like that's big for being able to kind of operate this thing and scale it across the retail ecosystem. So creating significant advantages in security, compliance, and scalability. By not storing payment information within the reusable tracking system, retailers avoid additional PCI compliance requirements while maintaining seamless integration within their existing payment platforms. This modular approach enables rapid deployment across diverse retail environments without requiring proprietary technology stacks. So it seems like, again, you are able to kind of avoid some loopholes or some hurdles that you have to jump through by not storing this payment processing information. I'm not sure what department or government department deals with this stuff, but it seems like PCI compliance, when you're starting storing payment information and having deposits or taking money up front, seems like it's additional hoops that you have to jump through from a business standpoint. However, by not taking that payment up front and only charging companies on the back end, it seems like that allows you to skip some of those hurdles, hoops, not having to jump through it. So that's kind of mine. The only thing I would say that will make this thing, I won't say make it difficult, because I do think, based on what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing, that is going to be easier to apply or incorporate into existence as they talk about infrastructures. But these bins have essentially food in there, or old food, or eating food. I think that'd be interesting in terms of the smell of the bins, depending on how often they change the bins, to have this kind of food just kind of sitting in there. I don't know. It seems like that can maybe be an issue as far as the smell, but otherwise, I think, man, the what they're trying to solve, the problem that they're trying to solve, can be a game changer. Like I said, when you're talking about restaurants, when you're talking about cafeterias on these universities or in these organizations, they go through a lot of paper. When you're talking about drink cups and paper plates and all that, but being able to kind of have a system that allows you to kind of reuse the actual dishware, I don't know. I think you're in a good spot and you can stand to make a lot of money. So those are my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Please, please, please hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm, as well as hit that subscribe button. And yeah, man, let me know if you guys adopt this or if you guys kind of will have resistance, or in other words, that friction. Did they overcome the friction to allow you guys to use it, or maybe not? So I would love to know that in the cafeteria. I know one thing: if you don't turn that reusable container in at the end, they are going to charge you. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this one. Catch you guys next time. Peace.